Welcome back, everyone. I hope you all had a great holiday season. Um, and don't let that honeymoon period be over. It seems like sometimes we go through that holiday season and we're either on the I feel good about it, or for whatever reason I don't feel so good about it this year. And then, our spirits happen to get picked up. And then we're like, okay, this is, and we're elevated and it's good. And then January comes and we're like, yo, we're in the new year. We're in the new year. And then almost to February, we're like, okay, now the happiness is over. It's back to factory reset of this being whatever it's going to be. The dramatics, right? Might I suggest that you stay in that spirit and emotion of what you want to stay in for however long you want to stay in it. If you're like, okay, it's just going to be happy today. We're going to have a happy day every day this month. And you know what? If stuff comes, God got us. So we don't really have to worry about anything. You know what I mean? So why don't we act like, we could just pretend, but why don't we act like freaking God is who he says he is? And the fact that he says everything works out for our good, and the fact that he says should be of power, love, and a sound mind, right? And fear doesn't have any place in our lives because there's nothing to fear, right? What if he said don't have no doubt, so we're not gonna. It's all about your perspective, and it's all about what you are willing to put in play of the word and what maybe you haven't read that he said, I'll make a way of escape for you. So you never know. And you always think in your situations, this is just the end it all. Like, how are we going to come out from this? Right? But what if we actually knew what he said and that he does stuff sometimes just for our joy to be full? So there could be multiple reasons why he says yes, but he says, if you ask anything in my name, I will do it. I will do it sounds like a yes without stipulation or and all like what do they give it? Any compromise or hey, I'll give you this if you do this. Like there's none of that. So what if we kept the mindset of just for January, let's say, and we're like, we're actually going to act like this Bible is true. We're actually going to act like we are children of the Most High God. We're going to act like Jesus really died on the cross for our sins, so then we don't have to worry about it. We just need to do our part, be in our peace that he said he gives so freely if we'll take it. You know what I mean? So why don't we try to do that for 1 month and see where we come out? Now back to the game plan. Welcome to another episode of the AWAP Zone Podcast, the Drama Ministry Edition, where I'm giving you all the rundown, all the inner knowings of how to run a foundationally sound drama ministry from A to Z. All the secrets, all the everythings, right? And any questions, drop them in the comments. Hit me up. The website is awapzone.com. Let me know. All right, so let's get into it. And this time we're going to be on chapter 6 if you guys are following along in your book. If you want to follow along in the book with us, go ahead and hit that link below and it'll take you right over to the site. And it's a downloadable right now, so you'll have access to it immediately. So chapter 6, planning performances. Planning performances for your drama ministry involves organizing the logistics and creative aspects of your productions. A well-structured plan ensures that your performance runs smoothly and effectively conveys your message to the audience. Here's a more detailed explanation of how to plan a performance for your drama ministry. So maybe you've never done it before. Maybe you're just now getting into this thing. You're like, okay, I want to do it. Okay, we got some insight on who we need on our team. Okay, we've gone through the table reads, we've gotten everything together, we kind of actually really want to put something on, and it may not be at Christmas or Easter or any of the designated holidays that we have. Maybe we want to do something for like a Valentine's something, or maybe we want to do something for a 4th of July something and talk about independence from your sins. Anything. You can make a theme topic out of anything you want to, right? And you're like, now we actually want to put it together and do it. This is how we plan the performance. So you set the performance dates. Determine the dates and times for your performance. Consider factors such as the availability of your team, which is very important because we don't want people calling in on the day of the show. The preference of your target audience. Who do you think should be here? Who do you want? Is this just going to be a community thing and anyone from the community is welcome? Other events that might conflict. Okay, so is Dave Chappelle coming this week too? You know what I mean? It's really kind of keep your eyes open about things. Okay, number 2, choosing venues. Well, we don't have to really do too much of that yet because we're just starting out as a drama ministry. So your church could be the perfect venue already. You don't have to pay anybody anything. You don't have to put down any deposits. You don't have to all you have to do is set the schedule and say, hey, will this work with you guys for our rehearsals and our performance? Maybe you're going back and forth with the choir, or maybe there's whatever's going on. There could be a million things, right? But that's the biggest deal is the schedule for our rehearsals and our performance. Will it be available? So make sure you keep it as simple as possible your first few go rounds, and then once it starts to build itself, then maybe you want to think about something that costs a little more, meaning going outside of your church home into another venue. But don't worry about it so soon, okay? You could do it on the street in the parking lot and say, this is where our performance is going to be, and do it. Doesn't cost anything, right? Unless you're not on your own property or the property of the building, because then you'll have to get permits and stuff. But that's another set of questions. So number 3, secure reservations and permits. So when you get to that point, if needed, secure reservations or permits for your chosen venues. This ensures that you have the necessary permissions to use the space for your performances. Number 4, create a production timeline. So develop a detailed timeline that outlines the tasks leading up to the performance dates, including such as rehearsals, set construction, costume fittings, and promotional efforts. So that's going to come in handy when we get down there to talking about ticket sales. So allocate resources. Determine the resources required for each performance, including props, costumes, lighting equipment, sound systems, and any special effects. Make sure these resources are available and in good condition. So we've already talked about your team. And your team with the rehearsals, or kind of when you do the table read, you're kind of making notes of the lighting should be rising here, falling here. There should be a background noise of thunder here. And you're putting all those in the script so that when you go back and you're looking and you're actually standing up there doing the rehearsals, you can see okay, now here would be a good time, so you can perfect those special pieces into your script. And now you know what the timeline is going to be for your actual production of how long it takes to do those things, to go from here to here for your blocking, and then you can say, oh, this might run about an hour, maybe 90 minutes. Allocate resources. Number 5, determine the resources required for your performance. I did that. Did I do that? Oh no, it's the develop the timeline. Okay, now the resources required are for performance, including props, costume, lighting, equipment, sound system, and any special effects. Make sure these resources are available and in good condition. And the chords actually work. Build a rehearsal schedule. So plan and communicate a rehearsal schedule that accommodates the availability of your team members. Factor in time for run-throughs, technical rehearsals, and dress rehearsals. So once you kind of get closer to that date of performance, which you don't want to say, hey, we're going to do this in 2 weeks from when we start, because in 2 weeks, we don't even have our lines memorized extremely well. We may be able to go off paper, But to put in all the action and the effort, and if it's a elaborate script, we want to make sure to give proper time to get everything that we need done in there. Okay? Um, so then number 7 is talking about the technical and dress rehearsals. Schedule dedicated technical rehearsals to work on lighting, sound, and other technical aspects. Conduct dress rehearsals to simulate the actual performance experience. Because what you don't want to do is when the actors are on stage and they're doing a rehearsal, it's not even a dress rehearsal, we're not even there yet, but you don't want to stop them every 4 seconds, be like, okay, we need to do the lights, give us a second, we're working on it. Okay, we need to enhance. We're trying to find that sound bite. You don't want to stop them in the middle. So you come together, you know where they're going to be and what they're going to be saying. So you have your trigger lines. And a trigger line is like, okay, at this point, this is what's going to happen. So you get your technical team together, you give them a copy of the script that you've put all of the marks where this needs to go, and you give them days and time to actually be like, okay, they're going through the script. Okay, this is our first blah blah. This is what we're going to have to do, and let them get it together. So in fact, you're going to have about 2 to 3 teams that have to do rehearsals. So you're going to have whoever your set manager is, or your that team who's doing the costumes, the prop master, all of those people doing a rehearsal. Like, okay, they're going to need to change their costumes from this to this. We're going to need to do this and this, and have them set it up in a way backstage that it runs concurrently, and that they can do it with ease, and that they know this section on number 1 is for Act 1, section number 2 for Act 2. Excuse me. And then they have all of the props. Okay, so when we do the scene change, we're going to need to have this all waiting right here to be ready to go up. And we're going to enter stage right and we're going to exit stage left. So that it's kind of, okay, we got one team take it away and one team bring it on in order to put everything in place on time. Not make maybe during an intermission, maybe that's when you're going to do your scene change, right? So the technical and dress rehearsals are very important. Um, and then maybe you're just there doing a costume change and seeing how fast that can take or how long you're going to need um, in order to do that appropriately. So coordinate technical elements. So work with your technical team to ensure that lighting, sound, and any special effects are in sync with the performance. So now that all the teams have rehearsed their parts, right? The actors are on stage, the behind the stage costumes, props, etc. And then we have the technical with the lights, and then we have the sound, and everybody has rehearsed their stuff. Now we're coming together to have a group rehearsal, right? So everybody is in position, and maybe they don't actually change into the costumes yet, but maybe the front of the I wanted to say the front of the house actors. So the actors and now the technical teams are having their rehearsal. So they're doing the lighting when the lighting should be done. They're putting in the sound bites. They're, making sure everything is flowing. They're able to follow because of the blocking. They're able to follow the characters as they're on stage and switch it up and move it however it needs to be moved. You know what I mean? So it's not just for the actors on stage to do their part, but it's for the whole team. So you need a schedule that lets everybody be able to do their best. Number 9, finalize set designs and construction. Ensure that your set design is finalized and constructed according to the plan. So you test the set elements during rehearsals to make sure they function properly. As I stated again before it was time, but that's just how my brain works because I'm seeing it as I'm telling you. And I wrote it as I saw it, but I wanted to be a little more detailed. So I itemized it a little obsessively. All right, number 10, costumes and makeup. Confirm that costumes are ready and potentially fitted for each actor. Sometimes that's a problem because they're like, oh, well, we got all the costumes, we got all everything, but we never thought to put them on them to see if they will work. Not that they're actually doing the performance in costume and costume changes, but maybe we want to try it out, And if you're new, I get it because that's like, okay, we got the costumes, they're going to put it on. But wait, can they actually get into it? might not come to mind right away. And then you plan makeup and hairstyling and to suit the characters and the overall theme of the performance. So in the beginning, hey, guess what? We're going to be self-styled. We are going to do our hairs. You know what I mean? Unless we have a hairstylist on deck, you tell them, or they, when they're doing their character development, it should be appropriate that they also look into what do they wear? Where are they from? Are they more from a Cali, or are they more from a New York? Are they more from Indonesia? Are they Hebrew from, you know what I mean? You want to see, what is the tone? What are we doing? And then everybody be on board with that. Number 11, promotions and marketing. So back when we were talking about when we're creating a production timeline, costume fittings, and promotional efforts, we also want to talk about this part. So that's going to be promoting and marketing. Develop a marketing strategy to promote your performance. Utilize social media, flyers, posters, press releases, and other channels to attract your target audience. Give people at least, if you can, 2 months advance notice. And you start out small and you say, hey, this is what's going on this day. And you're putting up flyers in all of the laundromats in the city, and you're having word of mouth go, and you're putting the flyers to where they can take one so that there's multiple, so they can have it with them, so they can show other people. And with that, have what the ticket price is going to be. Maybe this is your first one. We're trying to get our drama ministry together. This is our first performance. Please join us. We are charging $2 for a ticket per person, or maybe and then, for multiple people, it's going to be this much. And for a family, it's this much, right? All being under what you think they would pay for it. Just so they can say, hey, I got $2. Ooh, that sounds fun. Okay. And then we don't have a problem, right? So then you're also going to want to set up, how are we getting them tickets to the people? What are we utilizing? Are we doing Ticketmaster, where they can download their ticket and then we scan it at the door? Are we doing just a buy once you get to the door, $2, and doing it that way? Are we putting it through the mail where they can call and, we can reserve their seats, and then we're doing a list by name? How are we doing this for the tickets? But this is your chance to have a way that you're saving for the next performance. So let me stop going ahead of myself. Press releases are where you would talk to your local media, your TV outlets, your news stations, and say, hey, we're having a performance and everyone is invited if they would like to come. And then they would come out, do an interview maybe during one of your rehearsals, and then promote it for you, because they love community involvement, and then say that the tickets are only $1. Now you have a verbal, national, syndicated promotion of your event. Other channels to attract your large target. Okay, ticketing registration. If your performance are ticketed or require registration, set up an online or offline system for attendees to purchase tickets and reserve seats. Front of the house arrangements. Before I get there. So do you guys understand that part? That this is where we monetize? This is where we say, hey guys, we're trying to do something here. We have a zero budget, and we're trying to get it to where we have a financial budget. And this would help us to be able to buy more costumes. This would help us to be able to do blah, blah, blah. So now you're setting up that portion of it. Also, hey, we have a donations online, something set up. Now that donations can be on the church website and be like, hey, for the drama ministry donations, place it here. And then whoever's over the drama ministry can see, oh, we got another $5 came in today. And now they're setting up, and now they're having a budget, and now they know that people are involved. And you can also take it one step further. And that would be to go ahead and have the businesses get involved. And you can let them know that for $100 or whatever you're choosing, I usually, because it's a business, go for a minimum of $100. Excuse me. $100. And that's where, okay, so in order, we would like your sponsorship. So We are giving you a package for $100. You can send us a package. So, okay, let me break it down. So this is what I've done in the past and shown churches in the past. They have a sponsor package. In that sponsor package, they have so many bags that they can fill with that sponsors. Maybe they have coupons. Maybe they have little trinkets and things that they can put in a bag that they have giveaways with their logos on them. So now we have gift bags for the first, I don't know, 50 people. And when you show up, your family gets one of these gift bags. Now in there's going to be an advertisement from the church. There's going to be a uh, if you would like to join us, kind of an advertisement for the drama ministry, or we need technical people, or we need blah, blah, blah. This is how you get involved. There's going to be maybe you get 5 to 6 businesses that say, hey, I want to sponsor that show. So now you got about $500 to $600, and you have about 5 to 6 businesses where they're giving you I was going to say memorabilia, but it's like their coupons, or maybe they're whatever they do for giveaways, or they have like business cards, or they have something that you can, by them sponsoring, put into the hands of the people of the community. Okay? So then also during your intermission, you're giving a shout out to those businesses. We want to thank Goodwill Tires for sponsoring our show. We want to thank blah, 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 blah for sponsoring our show. We appreciate you. And inside of your bags that you received, if you were one of the first 50 people to come through the door, you have a special surprise in there. So maybe they're like a 50% off coupons, or they're blah, blah. You know what I mean? So then whatever that company decides that they want to put in those bags, it's not costing them much. $100 is not much. So let's say you get 10 businesses, right? And that is your goal every time, is to get 10 businesses to sponsor your show. Now you have $1,000. Now you have money coming in from sponsors. Now you have money, and all you're doing is giving a shout out, spreading their name around the community via little gift bags, right? And they don't have to be elaborate. Maybe they have a little popcorn bag inside, and then they have the business informations. Or maybe they have a raffle ticket card and you're doing a giveaway. So the first 50 people get entered into a drawing, and then, and they're also getting these gift bags. You see how that works out? So that is where we come into, okay, now we know that we can get $1,000 for each show. What do we need to do with that $1,000? Well, first of all, we need to keep it as close to zero as possible in what our expenses will be. Because if we can do that, and then we can set that 1,000 for with the next 1,000, now you have a $2,000 production. So like I said, I keep everything as close to zero as possible. Even when money starts coming in, that's no reason to flip up the script and now we're going to the Taj Mahal to do our performance. You know what I mean? We still need to keep it in-house, because what are those for? Those could be for, maybe now we're going to do a live streaming. So we need someone to handle the cameras, and we can do a live screening of our show. So now people can watch online and pay for tickets in their homes, and they don't have to come out. Right? Maybe they're on the sick and shut-in list, and we want them to also be able to, participate. So now they can actually be there. So now we have a streaming manager and a team that handles all that, and they know how to work the cameras and flip through in order to they know who's going to be speaking next. Okay, they know what's coming up, how the angle should be, and they got it together, the video production team, right? So now we have them on the team. They have an expertise, and they're streaming it all over, So now we have a budget to pay our technical people. We can pay, the people that are actually doing it. The actors are still gaining experience because they're new. You know what I mean? Or we can use that in order to, maybe next time we are going to have, I don't know, maybe our costumes are going to get enhanced. You know what I mean? So there's so much that can be done with that, and it could be built up and set aside. It doesn't have to be used right away, especially when you're just, beginning. Once you get all of that expertise in there, oh, now we want to update our equipment. You know what I mean? And we're going more for equipment than for to get in the habit of paying people to perform. Um, so now not only that, maybe we can do retail where we spend a little bit of that, we get a little bit of product, and now we can open up a oh gosh, I just forgot what that it's a stand, like a concession stand. Sorry, the word slipped my mind. So now we're earning money off the concession stand. Now we have money coming in from the sponsors. Now we have sales from the tickets at the door. And now we have sales from the online streaming of the play, of the series, of the, whatever it's going to be for you. So now we went from having no budget to 5 sources of income from one performance. So you see how we can build this up and it'll do what we're expected of it to do? And we can actually grow from this. So now we don't have to say, well, I don't know how we're going to do this. We don't have any money and nobody wants to participate. They don't know about it. Well, now up to this point, we know how to do all those things. And this is a trinket that they won't get in the book. I saved this resource for you guys who are listening because I appreciate you tuning in and wanting to get a better understanding. So, number 13, front of the house arrangements. Plan the front of the house arrangements, including ticket booths, ushers, programs, and any merchandise you plan to sell related to the performance, as we just talked about. And programs are great. It lists all the characters who are in there, maybe their picture next to it, a tiny bio, and then the name of the play and what it's about. And then maybe on the back, if you would like to participate, da 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 da, or join us for service on Sunday at da 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 da. You see? And that's getting into the hands of the community. So now what? We're making them feel welcome to come back. We're making them feel welcome to come back and not only join us for these moments, this fun time we're having, but now become a member. Be a part of the family. Let us show you the whys we're doing what we're doing. Let us show you who we are doing this in the name of. Let's bring the people back home. And this is how we can do that. And now you see that there's an actual way to do that and to be financially sound and morally sound and treating everyone great. And nobody has to feel like they're the least of these. So plan the front of the house arrangements. We did that. Number 14, audience engagement. Consider ways to engage the audience before, during, and after the performance. This could include a Q&A session, post-show discussions, or interactive activities. So maybe you have an intermission. Maybe before you have an opening act. Maybe it's a band. Maybe it's a couple musicians from the church. Maybe they're just doing a song, or a comedian is opening up, a Christian comedian. So now they're getting way more than what they bargained for. They thought they were just coming to see a play, but it's a whole production. Or maybe in your intermission, while you're doing the big scene change, maybe there's a comedian that comes up, which is kind of unfair. So that would probably be more for maybe like a couple songs or a couple things because people are going to be moving in and out and around. Or maybe you're just playing some music. And then at the end of the show, okay, it's time for the giveaway. Okay, we want to thank our sponsors. Okay, da 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 da. So they're engaged through the whole time, and that the giveaway kind of keeps them there if they were thinking they wanted to leave early. There's a strategy, people. And then you evaluate and adjust. So continuously assess, okay, the progress of the performance, the planning, be prepared to make adjustments based on the feedback, unexpected challenges, or new insights. So then you're sitting there with your team when you're doing the after party, and you're like, not the after party, but the next meeting. The after party should be a party. And you're like, okay, guys, so what did you guys see? What do you think? What happened? How did it go? This is how much we collected. What do we need to do next time? Because now that those 100 businesses, or I'm sorry, not 100, those 10 businesses that sponsored you, You go and you send them a thank you letter so that they know that you didn't forget. And you let them know, hey, we thank you for sponsoring this show. We had a turnout of, and we were able to give away all of the samples you sent. So thank you for being a part of it. Always say thank you. Remember the guys with leprosy, and only the one came back when he was healed and said thank you? Be that one. Be that team that comes back and says thank you. Why? Because we're going to ask them again next time. And they're like, man, that was so great. And they really appreciate us. Hey, when is your next one? Maybe we could sponsor the year. Okay. So then on the website, maybe the church website, maybe you have an independent website for the drama ministry, which it should be incorporated in the church website, if, I could say that, because we want them to come home. We want them to see everything that's going on. We don't want to say that we're an independent of the church, because we're not. It's for the church. So now you have a page on there where you list, okay, if you want to be a sponsor for one show, 4 shows, 6 shows, however many you think you're going to do in that year, but you want to make it accurate. So after your first year is when I would put up this and then say, hey, we can have sponsorships because we know we can do 6 shows in a year. Boom. Now you got $600 from one company, and that still is not biting into their budget. You have the donations page. And now instead of having 10 companies, you have 20. So now you doubled that to $2,000 per performance. And if you have 6 shows, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, now you got $12,000 that you've made just from sponsorships in a year. See, the math does be mathing sometimes. So make sure that you thoroughly are planning your performances because it's essential for a successful and impactful drama ministry. A well-organized production process ensures that both you and your team and your audience have a positive and enriching experience. So, now you know how to do it. Now you know where to get that money from. Now you know, okay, we have a rock solid foundation on the how-tos, and guess what? All we do is duplicate it with a new theme or a new message, and we keep the people involved. Next time, maybe 50 people show up, and maybe next time 100 people show up because of word of mouth. And oh, it was so fun, and they had a giveaway, and I won, blah, blah, blah. And make sure that your giveaways are well above the expectation of what they think they're going to get. That's how you blow people's minds. So, due to my schedule, I have to go. And again, any questions you have, anything that you want to be like, oh, but what about this? I wonder. Hit me up. This is why I'm here. AWAPZone.com. The link below lets you get the book in digital form, so you can have it right away within about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I guess. I think it took mine 5 when I was doing the testing. So you'll have it right away, and you can follow along. You can start from the beginning and work your way up to where we are as far as the videos go, and then continue with us. If your actors need training, hit me up, awapzone.com, and you can see the package that I've put together for a drama ministry workshop. And this is to train the actors in order to have a great performance. For anyone who wants to start out, they will be able to do it. All right. So until next time, I love you, my royal fam. Deuces.